Good morning, class. Assalamu alaikum. This is your computer teacher, and today we're going to discuss our first chapter in our books on page 2, and it's called Whiz and Computers. Today we are going to learn about something very important that most of you use at your homes, and your parents probably use it in homes and work as well, and it's also in your schools. It's used vastly in a lot of places, and today we're going to discuss about personal computers. That's what I was talking about earlier, the usage of personal computers at homes, your parents' work, and your schools. And we also call it a PC. A PC stands for personal computer. Now the question is, what does PC mean? What does personal computer mean? A personal computer, it is a type of computer that is used by one person at a time. Only a single person can use it at a time. It helps you to do a lot of things, like it helps you to watch videos, it helps you to play games, and there's just a lot of things that you can do on a computer. Now there's different types of computers, different types of personal computers. Our example number 1 is desktop computers. These are big computers that usually sit on a desk. You need a screen and mouse and a keyboard to use them. For example, you might have a desktop computer in your computer lab, which we do at our school, and you're going to learn about it, you're going to work on it when I'm going to take your practicals. So these computers, these desktop computers, they require a desk, a keyboard, a mouse, and a screen. Now another example is laptops. These are also personal computers. These are similar computers that you can carry around. The only difference between, not the only, but one of the differences between desktop computers and laptops is that you can carry laptops around with you anywhere. They're portable. Meanwhile, a desktop computer is not portable since they're big and they require a desk, a proper setup. Meanwhile, laptops can be carried wherever you want. They have everything in one place. The desktop computers, they do not have everything in one place, but the laptops, they have everything in one place. The keyboard, the mouse, the screen, everything is in one place, and the keyboard on the mouse on the laptop, it's called a touchpad. It's not a mouse, it's a touchpad. Another example of personal computers is tablets. These are very and even smaller than the laptop and the desktop computers, and you can even hold them in your hands. You touch the screen to make it work just like your phone. A tablet is just like your phones but bigger, and it can work like a personal computer. Obviously, it does the same task for you, and it's smaller and it's portable and it's very convenient for you. Now, for example, some of you might have tablets at your home. Your younger siblings, they probably have a tablet they use to watch cartoons or play games, or you probably play games on it as well. Many of these tablets are used among children's because it's very convenient for them, and they use it to play games and watch cartoons or watch poems. Now the 3 types we discussed is desktop computers, laptops, and tablets. Now students, did you know that the computers can help us in many ways? Now let's learn about 5 important things computers can do. Number 1, play games. You can use computers to play games. Some games are fun, while others help you learn, like puzzle games or games where you have to answer questions. For example, think about your favorite computer game. Think about it. It could be something like a racing game or a matching game. Could be anything at all. Depends on what a person likes. Now use number 2 is drawing art or draw art, same thing. Computers can help you draw pictures. You can use a mouse, a touchpad, the touchpad that we have on our laptops, or even your fingers if you have a tablet. It all depends on the personal computer that you're using. Could be a desktop computer, you're gonna need mouse for that, and then you're gonna have laptop, you're gonna have to need touchpad for that, and for tablets you're gonna need your finger, which most of us have, of course, and you can draw with your fingers or whatever desktop whatever personal computer you have, depending on it. What the main clause is, it's that computers also help you to draw art. There are several special programs that let you choose colors and shapes to make beautiful drawings. For example, you can draw a house or your favorite cartoon character on a computer, just like how you use crayons on paper, you use paint on a computer, or there's several other softwares to draw. Now, use number 3 is that you can use a computer to perform calculations as well. Computers are very good at maths. They can help us to do difficult calculations quickly. Instead of using a calculator, you can use the computer to add, to subtract, to multiply, and to divide. For example, if you want to add big numbers like 473 plus 255, this computer can do it in a second, while you're gonna need a minute or two to solve it, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that computers are very, very efficient in solving mathematical equations. Another use of computer is that you can use it to write stuff. We can use computer to write words, sentences, or we can even write stories with it. Instead of needing paper and a pencil or markers, you can just use a keyboard on a computer to write or type or make whatever story you want on it by simply using a keyboard. For example, if you want to write a letter to your friend, or it could be your teacher, or it could be a school project, you can do it on a computer. You can write whatever you want on it using a computer. Now, another use of computer is talking to other people. Computer help us to talk to people even if they are far away. You can use video calls, chat, or emails to communicate with friends and family. There's video calls, there's voice notes, messages, calls. There's so many options to choose from, and you can do all of that using a computer. For example, have you ever talked to a family member who lives far away on a video call? The computer makes that possible, by the way, but most of us do call people who live far away from us, and video call plays a very important role in that, because you're just live with the person who lives miles away from you. But through computers, through personal computers, could be your phone, tablet, screen, or whatever, through these you're able to connect with those who live miles and thousands and hundreds of miles away from you. Now we're going to discuss data. What's data? Data is like information that we give to the computer to make it work. We use data all the time, and so do computers. Let me explain more. What is data? Basically, data is the information, like I said before, that we put into the computer. When you use a computer, you are feeding it with data. Just like how our body, we need food for energy. Computers at the same time need data to work properly. Like us, we need food to work properly, and computers need data to work properly. What kind of data can we put into the computers? Now, there's a lot of different types of data that you can feed into the computer. For example, words. When you type words or write stories on a computer, you are giving it the data that you're writing. These words become data that the computer understands. For example, let's say you type your name and you typed Ali or Alian. That becomes data for the computer. That you typing your name into the computer, that is data for the computer. Now, another type of data is pictures. When you draw a picture, or when you upload a picture, or when you take a picture, these pictures become data for the computer. For example, think about when you take a picture with a phone or a camera, the picture it's stored as data into the computer or phone. Let's say you took a picture and then you're gonna go to your gallery and you're gonna find it there. Why is it there? Because the phone, the tablet, or the computer it stored it as data inside it. Another example of data is numbers. Now, numbers are also a type of data, like I said. When you do math on a computer or a tablet or a laptop, could be anything, could be any personal device. When you're adding or subtracting, you're giving the computer data. The addition, the subtraction, the numbers, the mathematics, that's all. What is it? It's data. For example, if you type 2 plus 2, those numbers become data that the computer uses to give the answer of 4. Another example, you want to multiply 3 by 6, you're going to type 3 multiplied by 6, and then the computer is going to give you the answer of 3 multiplied by 6. What is 3 multiplied by 6? That's the data for the computer. Now, how do we give data to the computer? Whenever we type, click, draw, or press buttons, we are giving computer data. Typing on a keyboard, pressing the buttons on the mouse, or whatever device you've inserted inside your computer, that's all sending data into your computer. For example, if you're playing a game, every time you press a key or move the mouse, the action is data that the computer uses to respond. You've got the arrow keys to play games on a computer, and whenever you press the key, it sends the data, it stores the data, and it performs the task. Like for example, you want to bring your player, the game player, up. You're gonna click the up arrow button, the key, and then the player is going to jump or go up. Now this is also a type of data that you've sent into the computer or that you've typed into the computer. You and I can speak and understand words, but the computers, they need data to understand what we want them to do. Meanwhile, as humans, we can understand normally, but since computer is a machine and we need to instruct it, we need to store or type in data for it to understand and do our work accordingly. Now, a computer remembers all the data. The memory is the data that the computer remembers. I gave you an example of taking a picture earlier. When you take a picture, that's data for the computer or whatever device you're using, right? The place the data is stored in, that's memory. If memory wasn't there, the data would have deleted itself. But memory is very important to store the data that you're inputting into the computer. Inputting it is sending data into the computer, and output is the data you get after inputting whatever task you need, and then you get the data. Computer remembers all of the input, it's got memory. Same thing that I said just now, input is the data that you're storing into the computer, and when the data is saved, it's saved inside the memory. Computer stores all of the data in the memory. I've said this before and I'm saying it again. Memory is where all the data is stored. Now students, the chapter has completed and I'm going to give you a thorough review of it quickly. We learned about personal computer, PC, and how they can be used by one person at a time, and there's different desktop computers, different types of laptops, different types of tablets, phones, and all of these are what? They're personal computers. Second, we learned about data and how data can be in different and various forms. It can be in the form of word, in the form of pictures, in the form of numbers. The computers, they remember all the data. What another thing we learned is that computers have memory, and the data that we store into the computer, it's stored in the memory. And last but not least, we learned the uses of a personal computer and how we can use it to interact with people. We can use it to play games, we can use it to write, we can use it to make stories, we can use it to play games or watch videos. There's so many things that we can do on our computers. Thank you so much, class, for listening to this lecture. I hope you learned something from it, and we're going to discuss further more about this chapter in our class. Allah Hafiz.